Tom Clark's 6M podcast is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to Tom Clark's 6M podcast. I'm your host, Tom Clark, and in this episode, I'm joined by co-host Phil Lindsey. Anyone who follows the 6M podcast knows that we don't go live, okay? It's just not something we do. Typically, this show is pre-recorded, and the episodes that you're listening to are anywhere from 1 week to 2 weeks, possibly longer, behind, okay? So it just depends on how many we've got, on deck. And then I put these things out as the weeks go by. So no, we're not live, but that doesn't mean that real life isn't happening as we record this show, because of course it is, as it happens on all the podcasts on Boink Studios. You guys know how that works. So having said all of that, without getting too deep in the weeds on what's happening out in the world right now, it's chaotic. Chaos is not even the word for it. Okay, if you're not in the States and you don't have chaos in your little corner of the world, count yourself lucky, because the United States, as I record this, man, I don't know what's happening out here. There's been a horrific show of violence today in this country, and I won't get political on you or anything like that. And we're going to talk today about a movie full of violence. Good thing is, none of the violence in this movie is real, but Buddy, the special effects guys, did a bang-up job, because it sure does look real. And it's weird talking about this after stuff that's happened today, just moments before we started recording here. But I guess the show must go on, I guess is what they say, right? So we're going to soldier forward. And hopefully you enjoy this show, and it'll give you a little bit of an escape from what's going on out there. I use podcasts for that all the time, just like I use music and movies and TV shows, comic books, man, just to kind of escape what's happening in the real world. So hopefully this will do it for you. We're glad to be part of it. Anything that hopefully puts a smile on your face, again, during these very chaotic times, okay? But today we are talking about the Equalizer 3. This is a super violent flick, but the cast is effing amazing. We all know Denzel is great. He's a legend. We've covered Equalizers Part 1 and 2. I'm hoping for more movies after this. We discussed that a little bit on our review of Part 2. We'll talk about that a little bit more here today, talk about what the future could potentially hold. And again, great movie. I really enjoyed this movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I kind of remembered not being in love with it and then watching it again today and just saying, man, what was I thinking? I really enjoyed this movie. But we'll get into that today and a whole lot more. Before we start, however, let's do this. The Equalizer 3 is a 2023 American vigilante action thriller film directed by Antoine Fuqua. It is a sequel, of course, to The Equalizer 2 and the third and final installment of the Equalizer trilogy, based on the TV series of the same name. The film stars, as we know, Denzel, reprising his role as retired U.S. Marine and DIA officer Robert McCall, with Dakota Fanning and a host of other folks joining him here in this movie. And again, lots to talk about. In this film, McCall discovers that his new friends in a small town in southern Italy are intimidated by Camorra members, where he sets out to save them from the threat. As we said, released in 2023, distributed by Sony Pictures. The actual release date, September 1st, 2023 in the United States. 109 minutes is the running time. The budget for this movie was $70 million. This movie made some bank, kids. The box office is over $191.1 million. And that is your lowdown for the Equalizer 3. So Phil, as we get cracking here today, as we said at the outset, insanity going on around us, but we're going to talk about the world of make-believe for the next hour or so. You told me during the review of Part 2, you couldn't remember if you'd seen Part 3. Had you seen this movie?
I don't think I have seen it. Like, once I started, I was like, I don't remember any of this from this movie, which tells me I haven't seen it.
What'd you think?
I ended up really liking it. I think it's probably my second favorite one of this franchise so far. I still think the first one is my favorite, but I did really enjoy the third one.
I really enjoyed it too. I don't know. I guess maybe I saw the last time I saw this, it was in a hurry. I don't know what was going on, but man, I really enjoyed it. I love the scenery, shot on location. I love how beautiful it was. I mean, just great stuff going on in this movie, man. I love the cast. I mean, Denzel's always awesome. What is it about this, in your opinion, makes this one better than part two?
I think this one feels more like an actual movie, if that makes sense. 'Cause
Sure.
I think
Yeah.
we talked a lot in the second review about how, particularly the second movie, felt very episodic, and I
Mm,
think that that was good. It benefited in some ways, but I do think that this movie felt more like an actual movie, and it felt like it told a more um, interesting story, if I would say. Like, because again, I enjoyed the second one, but I do think the third one, I think it feels like a bigger adventure. Maybe because it's in Europe and it's not just like everything is happening in the same place and there's only like 5 people in the cast. Like it feels like a
right.
bigger story.
It does feel like a bigger story. The cast is bigger. And again, this was shot on location in Italy off the Amalfi Coast and then also into Naples back in 2022 and then also in Rome. So yeah, dude, I love the fact that this is on location. Like movie magic is great, Phil. And I'm sure you and I both have seen a lot of movies where we're like, was that real? And they just do a bang up job. But it's so cool when they're actually there. To me, it just adds more flavor to it.
Agreed.
Yeah. So what do you think about the plot of this one? Because I got thoughts, but I want to get yours right out the gate. What do you think about the story? How does it flow? The way this movie kicks off, his rehabilitation, his recovery, and then the slow boil to him taking on this mafia, so to speak.
It kind of feels like happenstance at some points.
Right.
I guess that's kind of the point because they have this overarching theme of the movie that you end up where you're supposed to be. McCall
Mm.
says that more than once in this movie. So it's kind of like kind of a fate thing that he ended up where he was and he ended up in that exact village and with the ability to help those people. Um, but it does kind of feels like what are the odds that all of this is happening at the same time? It kind of feels like happenstance in some ways, but I don't think that it hurt the story. I think the story ended up being very good.
I did too. I thoroughly enjoyed it. They finally got him, Phil. Somebody finally, and it was a kid. None of the bad guys ever get him. In any of the 3 movies, we said this in part 2 that it never really felt like he was in any kind of real danger because he was always in control of the situation. And a freaking kid shoots him in the beginning of this movie, man.
Yeah, I love that that immediately put into perspective just how at any point what he's doing could just come to an end.
Sure.
He is doing very violent things, and in his mind, of course, he feels justified, and we as viewers are supposed to see him as the hero.
Mhm.
Um, but in that kid's perspective, you just killed my grandfather,
That's true.
and so in his head, he might be thinking like, "I'm justified in getting revenge,"
Right, of course.
and so it just tells you how how gray the area he's operating in because he is doing good things in his mind and it does make you wonder like how much of this evens out, like how much of this is coming out as a net positive that he is doing things to help people, but at the same time he's doing a lot of very violent things and taking some people away from their families as well.
And I don't know this because I haven't seen every movie ever made, but I don't know if I've ever seen a film where you saw the aftermath and then got a glimpse of the guy that did it. Because he's sitting there calm, collected, just McCall that we've known for 2 movies now, 2 and a half, 3 movies now. But you see the aftermath and it is phenomenal. Like the way they walk through there and then the camera just focuses just on Denzel, not a team, not a bunch of guys, one dude. I thought that was a great way to begin this movie, man.
Yeah, I love that. I thought that the just the visual of the 'cause he's not a cartel leader, but the antagonist at the beginning of the movie that we see, he ends up walking through the house and he sees like all this mess that McCall left behind,
Mm.
and even though it looks like McCall is in a dangerous situation because he's sitting there at gunpoint, he couldn't seem any more calmer with all this. He's just like, yeah, well, I don't know why they wouldn't let me in. They should just let me in.
Yeah. I like when the guy pulled up and the dude outside is like, he told me to wait out here.
Yeah, he's still in full control of the situation.
Yes. Full control because he's like all that stuff, do you know who I am? And and how did you find me? And you still found me. And it's like the guy to my, what does he say? The guy to my left is standing too close. Yeah, the guy on my right's dead. And he doesn't even know it yet. Like, dude, shut up. Like you said, total control, man. By the way, can we just say that this is, maybe this is one of like the best action characters that we've seen in years. I mean, dude, John Wick is always going to be praised, and he should be, because John Wick, the character, is effing great. But man, John McCall, I think he kind of maybe has to stand shoulder to shoulder, maybe, dude. Or sorry, Robert McCall. Dude, what a great character this guy is, man.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic. I think the way that Denzel plays him as very calm, very much in control, very calculating,
Mm.
um, almost in some ways sadistic. Like the way he's killing these guys. Like at one point when he kills the guy, because he told him to leave town. He's like,
Yeah,
leave town, get your henchmen, get out of here. And
yeah.
so when he comes out and they're like plotting to kill him, and he stabs this guy to death. And the last step, he's like staring this guy dead in his eyes while he's killing him. It's
Yes.
like
My God.
very, very sadistic. He's almost like to take a comic book reference. He's almost like Ghost Rider. He's like
Ooh.
he's very much like passing judgment on people, and he does it in such a poetic way. Like, I mean, in the last movie, he kills the main villain in the exact way that he killed his friend, and then in this
Yep.
movie, he uses the very thing that this guy was doing to kill the people of his country to kill him.
Mm. Isn't that great? I thought that was nice poetic justice, man. And like he gave his brother an opportunity, right? Like he's done every movie. I'm gonna give you one chance. You got one chance, just walk away. He's very cool about it. And Phil, no one ever just walks away.
No, of course not. It,
Bad guys think they got it figured out. No one ever walks away. They see a guy a little bit up in years. He's by himself. They're like, how dangerous can he be? Dude, I love this film. I got to be honest with you, man. I don't know if it's better for me than in part one, but man, I really enjoy this. There was one trope that we saw in part one and two was, he takes a like sort of a younger person under his wing. That doesn't happen here. What did you think about finally kind of shifting away from that narrative we had done for like two movies in a row?
I think it's great because I think it shows that because he's done this thing twofold in both movies where he tries to mentor a young person, but then he also is helpful to an older person as well. And so I love that he does the same kind of mentor role here. Um, but it means more because like I mean it felt a bit predictable. Um,
Hmm.
once she started talking, and then once she came and met him, and they're having a back and forth, I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. Um, but I think it means more because like the connection we have with him and her at this point, um, after the first two movies, I think that it hit a lot harder. And it's Fanning, of course, was on Man on Fire. It was nice to see
Yeah,
Dakota and Denzel be reunited.
true. By the way, did you know the twist? Did you see the twist coming at the end?
Yes, it was a
Did
bit
you?
predictable.
Oh, I got to be honest with you. I don't know if I saw the twist coming, man. I can't remember if I knew the first time or not.
It was a bit predictable for me. I was like,
Mm.
okay, so that was her mother. Uh, uh, and I think it was like maybe midway through the movie where I was just like, yeah, for sure, that was her mother.
I mean, I think I'm okay with that. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
liked it.
think it's yeah, right. It's not too heavy-handed, is it?
No,
Yeah.
no, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was nice. Nice little way to sort of put a bow on it. And again, man, in full control. Like I love this character. I mean, yeah, there's just something about it. And let's be honest. give this character to another actor, would it have still made a bunch of money? Probably. But would it have been the same? Dude, no one's gonna outact Denzel, man. He is a legend, as we've said. He's one of a kind. And, we talked about in the review of part 2, if this character should be handed off at some point. I mean, could this character become like James Bond where different actors play him? I don't know, Phil. I guess anything's possible, but like at some point, I don't know. I don't know. Would it be the law of diminishing returns, you think, at some point?
So far so good. I think that
Mm,
they did something very different with this movie,
mhm,
and I think that that's why it worked. I think if it was just another kind of villain of the month story and it was another thing that took place in Boston and he wrapped it up with ease by the end of the movie, yeah, it would have felt like, all right, we've seen this enough. But I
right.
like the wrinkles they added to this movie.
Do you think this character should continue? I know we debated this on part 2. Do you think he should continue past Denzel or no?
I think there's plenty of room to do a spinoff here.
Maybe include Dakota Fanning in a spinoff, perhaps?
Yeah, for sure.
Something like
I
that?
would assume that's why they included her.
Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let's talk a little bit about the cast. The doctor that nurses him back to health. This is Remo Giron, I think, as Enzo Aricio. Dude, this guy is fantastic, man. Like, he doesn't want details. He tells the cop he fell. Like, it's great, man. I love this guy. I thought this was a nice touch. The guy that played the doctor is really great here in this movie, man.
Yeah, I thought he was great. I think that that's so far. So even if we don't get a fourth Equalizer movie, I do think that's one of the things that I've enjoyed the most about the movies is just that he meets people and you immediately like fall for like all these people in these different slices of life, whether it be in the first
Mhm.
movie where he worked at the hardware store and just like it's just like all the friends that he made in the hardware store and they're all just regular people. Like they're not people that are special like him because he's special. He could just the type of person that has the kind of mind that he does. He's not like a normal person. But
Right.
I love how much he appreciates normality because he realizes that this is just something I cannot have. And I think because of that, because he
Mm.
appreciates it so much, I think he wants other people to appreciate, just uh just how short life is, man. And just like try to live your life to the best while you have it. And I think that's part of the role he's played in mentoring people. Like don't just be here and just be here to be here. Like live a good life while you're here.
Yeah, for real. And he is that's a great pull what you just said, man, that he kind of surrounds himself with normal people. Maybe because he can't have that life, so
Yeah.
he wants to be as normal as he can be, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean we don't see him with family in three movies.
Right.
He doesn't have a kid. Um, but I think like he appreciates like normal people. He appreciates everyday people. And I think that's why he feels like he has to do so much to protect the little guy because
Mhm,
nobody else will.
mhm. Are you glad that they didn't give him a love interest in these 3 films?
I
Think
thought
they
that's
should have
what
went
they were
there?
doing here for a minute,
I
but
did
it
too.
seems like that's not what they were doing. He still is very much wearing his wedding ring.
Yeah.
Um, he, but it seemed like they were kind of setting that up here.
Yeah, I think the character thought so too, because she invited him to the thing and he just sat there for me and it's like, "Okay." Like, it took him a minute to say yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's, I just like when movies, go a little bit different because we're so used to these action flicks where there's the hero and the love interest, and, like, whenever that's switched up, I kinda really like that, so that's what happened here, so that makes a lot of sense. I like that it's different. Um, let's see, talking about the rest of the cast here, we've got the cop. Okay, so Gio is the cop.
yeah. Gio is the cop that finds him at the beginning of the movie when he is in a coma. Well, he's
Yes.
he's gone unconscious.
And man, the way they come after this guy's family is, like, frightening. Like, these mob guys are the real deal, man. Like, they are completely, like, unhinged coming after this guy's family in front of his family, man. And I think doesn't the one guy say, "Grab the kid" at one point?
Yeah, he holds the kid at gunpoint and he tells him, uh, if If you don't do what we ask, if we have to come back here, maybe we'll do something to her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we kind of need the bad guys to be bad guys, right? We can't have them be half and half. In a movie this violent, the bad guys can't be finding redemption, Phil. They got to be evil, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and so far, and all three of these movies, he somehow found the most irredeemable people that he could find.
No kidding. Yeah. Um, I like this guy. I like this cop, man. I think he's great. I think the role's well cast. I think the entire movie's well cast, man. Nobody really jumps out at me as me being, I don't know about this guy. It just felt like everybody was kind of on point too, dude.
I really liked that all of the people in the village felt like villagers. It didn't feel like here's this movie star that's living in this village, and we're supposed to believe that they're one of the villagers, even though they're also very pretty and all of these other things that don't make sense for them to be living here.
Exactly. Yeah.
It all felt like a community. All of these people, the casting was perfect. All of you bought into like this small community and this village of people where everybody knows each other and there are no outsiders here.
Yeah, that's true. And love how they're so welcoming to him, like the fish market. They're giving him free food and stuff. And he's like, no, I pay. I'm paying for this. And the guy wouldn't let him do it.
Boink Studios YouTube is the home of Tom Clark's 6M podcast. Tom Clark's Main Event, Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Subscribe to the channel for archives that date back to 2014, with new content being uploaded every week. And check out boinkstudios.com for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Bookmark the site today.
The slow bull feel of him seeing this place in trouble and then him healing and you can see the wheels spinning, Phil, as he sees things happening like, yep, I'm gonna kill that guy. I'm gonna kill that guy. I'm gonna have to kill that guy. Like he already knows, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I really that's why I really like the story that they told because um for a second when he gets shot and he's laying there, it looked like he contemplated committing suicide.
He did. He put the gun to his head.
And he ends up getting in his car, getting in the ferry, and that's how he ends up in the village. And that police officer didn't have to help him. He could have taken him straight to the hospital, could have reported what he saw, and you know this could have gone completely different. Even when he took him to Enzo's house, Enzo didn't have to help him. Enzo could
Mm,
have been like, "Who is this guy? Why are you bringing us here?" And he helped him. All the people of that village eventually welcomed him in once they knew that, "Oh, you're Enzo's friend, and so we trust you." Um, and I think it was just that part of it to him, seeing it from the outside looking in, like these people don't know me. I'm not even from this country.
mm,
And they just helped me no matter what. They saved my life. And
mhm.
so the least I can do is help them.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we never got a moment of look what you've done. You've made it worse. Do you know what I mean? Like there was no
Get
time
out of
for
here.
them, right? There was no time for them to turn on him because he just took care of business quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that the opposite happens because when he initially gets there, everybody is quiet and to themselves. And like, everybody knows each other, but it's still like everybody kind of minds their own business.
Yeah,
When the store owner, the guy that has the fish shop, is getting beat down by the mob, everybody hears what's going on in there, but nobody helps him.
yeah,
They just let it happen. So by the end, when McCall comes out there and they think he's going to get executed in front of them, they all take out their phones and they all stand up. And I love that he inspired them all to be like, no, don't just like watch when somebody else comes in this place and tries to ruin it. I think
yeah.
that's a great message as well. And that goes to what I said earlier about like don't just float through life. Like live a meaningful life. Stand up for what's right.
Yeah, well said. Yeah. So the guy that runs a fish market, the character is Angelo, played by Danielle Perron, was the actor who played Angelo. Great family guy, minding his own business, and it's pretty obvious they're making payments. The whole town's making payments to this mob, which is we mentioned the Camorra kids is an Italian mafia type criminal organization originating in the region of Campania, which I don't know if I had ever heard anything about this until this movie happened, man.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. But yeah. Very beautiful scenery for it.
Yeah.
I love Europe, man. It's just something about Europe, just like the cobblestone, just the way everything kind of has like this warm and intimate feel to it. And a lot of American cities, all of that is gone because you have all this like steel and concrete.
Yeah.
But I love that about Europe, and I think that a lot of times that's what makes movies that take place in Europe feel so unique. And I
Yeah.
think that was the same effect here. I think that you can very much buy into um, this village being its own separate world. Like, and I mean that's a trope that's come across in like several movies and TV shows of like this hero like floating adrift and ended up on this island or ended up out in the outskirts in a small secluded village, and the villagers help this person back to health, and then he becomes the protector of the village.
It's sort of a very Magnificent Seven. It's a very Kurosawa kind of storyline here too.
Yes, yes.
I'm a sucker for that. I'm a sucker for we have to help the downtrodden. I love that story actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've done that with Wolverine. I'm sure there's isn't there an episode of X-Men where Wolverine goes to like the Intuit village, and he ends up having to save them from Sabretooth
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
because they
sure there
nurse him
is.
back to health.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really great, man. Again, I love that kind of storyline, man. I've told everybody that cares to listen, I'm a sucker for happy endings. I like to see when the bad guy gets his just desserts, man. Um, so I'm all for a story like that. By the way, the love interest that maybe wasn't a love interest was Amina, I think, played by Gaius Scodelario. And man, folks, I hope I'm not butchering anybody's name. So apologies if I am.
Yeah. Uh, I I don't know that I could have done any better. So there you go. Yeah, very beautiful woman.
She
Very.
is.
I thought that she fit the role perfectly. I think that her humor was great when she comes out later and brings him the cappuccino, and he's like, he wanted tea. He's like, nah, tea is for older women and Englishmen.
Yes. And he just has that look like, all right. Like, okay, sure. And the guy trying to sell him the umbrella and the hat in the rain. That's freaking great, man.
Yeah, and but yeah, again, I love that like all the villagers know each other, and like it's like this intimacy to this whole community. And so when he comes and he's buying fish later with the hat on, and she sees him, he's like, "Oh, I see you finally sold that hat." And they're all laughing, and he's just like, "What? No, no, she likes the hat. What?
Right.
She likes it."
I did have a moment before the mob made everything messy. I did have a moment watching this thinking, wonder how much money it would take to live here. Like,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, I love the internet. I can't say I love all of it, but I love being online. I love being a content creator, but I'm like, yeah, hey Tom, trade it all in to go live here. You know what? I'm there. I'm gone. Like, sayonara. You know what I mean? We'll stay in touch on the laptop, but I'm putting my phone down. I want to go live there. I mean, dude, could you imagine yourself in an environment like this and sort of disconnect and unplug from technology and just live like a humble life in a village like this?
I absolutely could. I think
Mm,
if I had a opportunity to live in the mountains and be completely secluded, I would try to do it.
mm. I mean, the more I keep going, the more I think that's where I'm supposed to be. Don't know if Italy's the place, but I wouldn't say no to it either. So
Yeah.
I'd be concerned with bad weather because they're right there on the ocean. You know what I mean? I'd be concerned about that, but other than that, I think I could do it, man. Yeah, I really think I could do it. So the two heavies in this movie, kids, Vincent Quaranta and Marco Quaranta, and both played by actors with the first name of Andrea, which is different. Andrea Scarduzio and Andrea Dodero as Vincent and Marco, respectively. Very believable scumbags, especially the younger brother. And you know what I love, Phil, is that like there wasn't like McCall does his thing and then they come back. McCall does his thing and then he continues to do his thing. He's like, I'm not going to let them come attack these people or come find me. I fire the first shot. I'm going to go kill him right now. So he killed him. And then, like, Was it believable to you that the brother is asleep, that they're all just enjoying a peaceful night? Because I'm kind of like, I don't know. Wouldn't you have went back for revenge? Like, I don't know, dude. It kind of feels like, right? Like, I don't know, man.
I think that it's supposed to make the point of all of these guys are just incredibly arrogant.
That's true.
I think that they don't fear him enough to really see that he's a threat to them because he's just one
Right.
guy.
Sure.
And so they're just like, well, whatever, man. He got away this time, but we're gonna go in and burn their village down and kill him later. They're not thinking at all that he's gonna take the first move and like attack them before they can come back for him. And that was his brother's undoing because in that moment where he is pinching his nerve at that table, he's scared for his life.
Mm,
And so, but as soon as he gets away from that table, he turns back into himself and he's just like, who is he? Who even is this guy? Like, let's go back and kill him. It's like, but this guy just like single handedly held you at bay with like one hand. And you think you're going to be able to go back and kill that guy? But it's because they've been able to just do this for so long and they've lorded over this village for so long that they think, well, nobody's going to stop us. Who is like, who's going to stand up to us? Just this one American?
yeah. Yeah. Who's this guy think he is? Yeah. It's ridiculous. I love it though. Like, I love that there is no opportunity. There's no time for grandstanding. There's none of this, we're coming back and where the villagers fight to protect their village. Like that's a very magnificent thing, seven thing as well. Like none of them have to worry about it. He just takes care of business, man. Like he didn't waste any time. It's a nice twist. I like that. The restaurant scene that you're talking about is freaking great because the kid looks up, the younger brother looks up and he sees Denzel just staring a hole through him. And the way he's staring at him, I'm like, man, if this guy's staring at me from across the restaurant, I'm leaving right now. Cause man, he's just looking like, yep, I'm about to kill this guy. Like,
Yeah. I love the build to it because I love that at multiple points they're doing things, harassing people, and he's just like across the street or something or in the same room and he's just like staring like like I don't want to get involved. Like, and they just keep looking at him and like they never approach him because they both are looking at each other like the guy that kind of looks like Wardlow when he comes out with his bun, and
yes.
he's staring at him from across the street. He's looking at him like giving him this like threatening look, and at no point does McCall ever budge. And you get the feeling like he's like, I don't like this guy, but he never goes over there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
for sure.
even when his boss comes out and he tells him about him, like, look at this guy, and then they ride off on their motorcycles. They're still looking at him the whole time, like, who is this guy? Like, what is he doing here? And so I
Yeah.
think by the time we get to the dinner scene, it's just like, okay, enough with this guy. Like, what are you doing here? Mind your business.
You know what? If Denzel were 30 and chiseled and perfect hair, it doesn't work because he looks like a threat. Denzel, they look at Denzel, he's an older guy. He's no threat to me. What can he do? But like he's not, he doesn't look like John Wick, right? That's the difference. Doesn't look dangerous.
Yeah, he's been walking around with his cane
Yeah.
for the entire time that they're seeing him. They're like, what is this guy's deal? Like, don't make me have to come over there. But there's also something like inherently like terrifying about him. Like
There
the
is.
fact that he's like not moving, the fact that they're doing all this stuff and they're looking at him right in his eyes. He's not flinching at all or looking the other way. He's looking right back at them. And it's just like, yeah, do something. But then he's just looking like, who, me?
Yeah. I love that he says you like being in other people's business. And he's like, I'm trying very hard not to be, but you're making it very challenging for me. I popped off that, man. I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought that was a great line. He's very clearly not trying to get involved. But also, this is what reminds me of the X-Men episode that I'm thinking of because Wolverine just wants to be a part of this village and like help them fish and be a part of like this slower paced life and have peace. And I think he realizes like the longer he's here and he keeps seeing people do things, he's like, it's happening again, isn't it? There is no peace for me. I can't just like stay out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, because he tells me, he says, this is very bad for you. And Denzel says, Lord knows I'm allergic to bad things. That's a
Yeah.
great line too.
Yeah, I love that aspect to his story that it doesn't matter what this guy does. He could be a Lyft driver, he could work at a hardware store, he could just end up in this peaceful village and violence just follows him no matter where he goes.
Hmm. He's like, 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't even have been here, but I'm here now. And I like this place and the people. I'm starting to believe from the bottom of my heart that I belong here. That's where I'm supposed to be. Like you said, that where I'm supposed to be a bit. I like how he asked him what his watch was just so he could get his arm on the table so he could grab it. Stroke of genius, man.
Yeah, he does several things like that that are just so he's already analyzing the entire situation before you even realize he's getting ready to attack you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Uh,
great.
that's so great. I mean, even the stuff between him and Collins, where she's talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, well, you finally figured it out," and she's just like, "Well, how do you even know who I am?" And he's already like 10 steps ahead. He already knows she's gonna show up there. He already knows who she is.
She came off she was a little hardcore in the beginning. Like I guess she kind of had to be, but buddy, she was coming at him pretty hard and I thought, "Man, is she just going to arrest him? What's happening here, man?"
Yeah, I never bought that she was gonna arrest him, but
Mm.
um, it did always come off like, "Well, who are you? Like, what's going on here?"
Right. Emma Collins is the character she plays, kids. The guy that plays her partner, Frank Conroy, that's David Denman. David Denman is actually in Peacemaker. He plays John's brother. But did you suspect he was going to turn on her? Because I thought he's going to turn on her. I just have a feeling. He just looks dishonest. I think he's going to turn on her. Do you know what I mean?
No, I never really got that feeling.
No, man, I sure did. Maybe I've seen him in something where he has done that. I don't know.
Hmm.
He was on The Office as Roy Anderson. Dude, I never to this day got into The Office. Have you been into that show before?
No, I've never watched it.
Wow. I thought I was the only one. I can't believe it. Yeah, I to be honest, I watched a handful, like the first 3 or 4 episodes, and I'm like, I don't know what all the hubbub's about. And then like way after the fact, someone's like, dude, you got to watch past season 1. It doesn't start getting good till like season 2 and 3, and then it gets amazing. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll go give it a shot. But yeah, again, I think the cast is on point, man. I think everybody's again, like you said, man, it feels like an actual village. So in 2018, kids, the director, the great Antoine Fuqua, announced his plans to continue the film series. And then by January 2022, the third movie, this movie was announced, confirmed with Denzel returning. The shooting began on October 10th, 2022. As we said, off the Amalfi coast in Italy, continue until November 22nd. Like we said, Naples and then Rome. The music in this movie, the music's good. I don't recall, maybe I'm just fuzzy at the moment. I mean, does the music really jump out at you from any of these three films? Like, do you recall, like, and I can't remember if we discussed it now, Phil, but like, in terms of like, this is a powerful soundtrack. Like, do you get that feeling with any of these three movies here?
No, I really like the music that we got, the score we got. At the beginning of the movie where when we first see him sitting alone and he's at gunpoint and he again could not care less about anything going on around him. He is just completely cool, calculated, like whatever. I'm in control of this. Like y'all think y'all in control, but I'm in control. And it has this very tense upbeat, like almost like it has this very tense music to it. And every time he gets into trouble or he gets ready to snap back into who he really is, we get that same music. And I think it works really well.
Yeah, I agree. I think it does what it needs to do, but I don't recall there being any moments where I'm like, "This is the best soundtrack ever." Like it just doesn't hit me that way. And honestly, I don't know if these movies need like an all-star soundtrack. I kind of feel like I don't think it would detract from anything, but I just felt like the movies didn't need that. I felt like there was enough of these stories in all three movies to kind of keep you interested and hooked, you know?
You wanted the '90s movie trope of every movie ending with a rap song that narrates what the movie was about.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, what am I thinking about where the movie or the song flat out says everything that's going on in the movie? I'm sure there's 100 of them, but I'm blanking on what movie it is. Well, that became a thing. You're right. Like it was a thing. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it was needed here.
Yeah, there's so many movies where it didn't exactly fit, but there's some kind of rap song at the end that while the credits are rolling that the rapper describes the movie and it's just like, but huh? Like Adam Family was good for the Adam Family movies. Had rappers at the end, like they had the famously had the tag team remix. Whoop, the Adam Family. There it
Oh
is.
God, Jesus! Didn't Hammer do an Adam's Family soundtrack?
Yes.
That's right. I'd forgotten about that till you freaking said it. Good Lord.
They do what they want to do, say what they want to say.
Oh, you know what? That might be one of the worst songs ever. The lead up to the chorus is just horrible. Like you can barely follow it. Like I'm like, there's no way he did this song live. Like, how do you do that live and keep your breath? How is it possible? Like, it just felt chaotic. The whole song felt chaotic to me, man. Yeah. Well, listen to me picking apart a song that no one's talked about in years till Phil brought it up. Well, Phil, I mean, freaking Hammer was the flavor of the month. We've talked about the guy on the show, and he was the flavor of the month for a long time. And man, putting his name on your show, your movie meant people cared about it more,
Yeah, pop culture icon at that point.
Yeah.
He was getting thrown money to do a whole bunch of things, and Adam's Family soundtrack was part of it.
And meanwhile, Vanilla Ice got stuck with the Turtles movie. I say got stuck, but that ninja rap's one of the worst things I've ever freaking heard, man.
Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. What a different
SpaghettiOs
time.
commercial was fantastic that came of it.
Holy Lord, I'd forgotten that too. What a time to be alive in the 90s, man. Good gracious. Hammer with the British Knights. Dude, I could never afford a pair of British Knights when I was that age. Like, wasn't happening, man. Wasn't happening. They were considered I don't know if they were considered upscale shoes or whatever, but I just remember them being expensive.
Yeah.
Again, what a different time, man. This movie, as we record this, is 2 years old. And Denzel, I think, is 70 now. They're still, unclear about if there's going to be anything happening in the future. Again, like we said in part 2, kids, in November of 2024, Denzel announced they are making the Equalizer 4 and the Equalizer 5.
Wow.
But I just don't know. I mean, Phil, I guess if you film those movies, at the same time, and I don't know, I guess it would work. And, Phil, for all I know, they'll top this one. I don't know. Like, I keep mentioning Denzel's age like that's a big deal. I don't know if it's a big deal. If the guy's in great shape, he's in great shape no matter how old he is, right? So I don't know if that even make a difference at this point, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I if he's still able to make the movies, I think it works. It's not like he's doing any crazy stunt work or wire work to do these movies. All the fight scenes seem like they make sense for him at this age. They seem practical for him. So I think that it's fine. Like I said, if this was him jumping off buildings and doing flying kicks and stuff like that, it wouldn't really work. It wouldn't be believable.
Yeah, I agree. This isn't Tom Cruise running and jumping off a cliff and stuff.
Yeah, we're not watching him jump off of a building with a motorcycle or something.
Hanging off a cliff, the J.J. Abrams trope. Everyone's hanging off cliffs and stuff.
Yeah, with 100 lens flares on it.
Yes. Tom Clark's 6M podcast is sponsored in part by Radius Law Group. Every day, Radius helps individuals, families, small businesses, and nonprofit organizations throughout North Carolina, Florida, and Pennsylvania resolve their legal issues by providing effective legal counsel in the areas of estate planning, as well as elder law and Medicaid. Radius Law holds the radical belief that working with a lawyer can indeed be enjoyable. So give them a call at 1-800-519-5667 for more information and tell them that Tom Clark 6M Podcast sent you. Well, we recently binged all those Mission Impossible movies within the span of 2 weeks. Watched every single one of them. I think part 3 is still the best movie. Honestly, I think part 3 was great because I think part 3 was one of the Philip Seymour Hoffman in it.
Mm-hmm.
And, that guy, don't even get me started. Phenomenal. Man, when we lost him, we lost a true actor, man. A freaking genius, I think. Guy was phenomenal. Yeah, I don't know. This is just a very different franchise, man. To your point, in my opinion, how believable is an action movie? Right. It depends on your frame of reference and what your opinion is, and if you like it, the stars or not. I mean, these 3 movies to me just feel more realistic than maybe a lot of other action movies, maybe happening around it. Like, the fact that he's so calm, Phil, you could say, "Oh, come on." But dude, he's a trained killer. Like, that's who the guy's always been. And the fact that he shows no remorse and no fear and no hesitation. He's not even dude, he's never even out of breath at all. And everyone around him is like scrambling to get back up and he's in control. I don't think there's anything wrong with any of that. He's got ice water in his veins against the people who deserve it. And dude, the fact that the action scenes are very, very, very quick and not drawn out. I like that the fist fights don't last in like 30 minutes. That to me gets old hat, man.
Yeah, exactly. If because the longer the fight goes on, he's an older guy. He's
Yeah.
in these fights with younger guys. The longer the fight goes on, the more there's a chance that he could lose. He's immediately picking at their weaknesses and immediately taking them down before they haven't even a chance to respond.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, good call. Yeah, no, it can't even, before they even know what's happening, it's over. It's over that quick. But he always warns them. I like that. This is the 5th time these 2 guys have worked together, kids. Like, you thought that, Spike Lee and Denzel are a team, and buddy, they are. But he's worked 5 times with, Fuqua. Training Day, of course, we've done here on the show. Equalizer, part 1 and 2, of course, and the Magnificent Seven remake in 2016. So this is the 5th time, that they've worked together. What do you think makes the dynamic? And this might be a tough question, Phil, without listening to interviews or whatever, but from a distance, in your opinion, the dynamic between him and Fuqua as a team versus him and Spike as a team. I know it's 2 different, sorts of movies and 2 different genres or whatever at any given time, but why do you think what makes it different in your opinion and what makes it work in both cases?
Just two different styles of direction. I think they're two very different styles to movie making. Um,
Mhm.
and Spike's movies are just so different. Like just like stylistically, they're different. The message that he's trying to put across with them is different. Um, a lot of times, Fuqua's movies with Denzel Washington are just straightforward. Um,
Mm.
there's layers a lot of times to what Spike is trying to do as a filmmaker.
That's a good call. Have you seen the movie yet that's on Apple?
I have. I watched it Monday night with my dad, and it's it's interesting. I can't say that I think it's a great movie. Um, I don't think it's bad either. It just I'm not quite sure what to make of it.
Oh, wow. It's on our watch list. We just haven't watched it yet.
I think that Denzel is fantastic in it because he's a great actor,
Mhm.
but the movie itself has its issues.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Spike was on Marin recently, and they were both kind of praising Denzel, and Spike's like, "Man, don't cross him." like, like Denzel's a great cat, man, but don't cross him. It's like he'll tell you what's up. He ain't shy. So like, I imagine holding your own on screen with Denzel would be a challenge. Not because I think he's a dick or anything, but you just got to bring your A game, man. If you don't, I think you're gone.
That Josh Brolin story is so funny where he's like, "Am I gonna have to fight Denzel Washington?"
Right? Yes, that's a great story, man. Oh, what a great story. Yeah. I think that was on Marin's podcast as well that he told. He may have told it more than one place, to be fair.
Yeah, I think he's told it more than once.
Yeah. Um, I like Brolin, man. There's something about that guy. I like him a lot. Yeah. So we know, by the way, Phil, this was a twist. We didn't know who he was helping. We didn't know why he was there in the beginning when he took out this massive, and he tells you later, she's like, it's a drug cartel or whatever. He's like, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know it until I got there. But he ends up taking this whole place down. And it turns out in the end, Phil, it was all because this guy had lost his pension. And at the camera shots at the end, when she returns the money to him, that is Robert's apartment building. He lives on the first floor of the same apartment as Robert. And supposedly, if you check through the movie at the 36th minute, it's almost the same camera shot.
Hmm.
So if you look in the first movie, it's almost the same camera shot. So that's how he knows this guy. That's how he knows this couple.
Mm.
So yeah, once again, he helps somebody. They have no clue that he's the one that did it. $336,400, 366,000. Excuse me. By the way, Phil, once again, they got me when she returns that money and they're both breaking down and hugging each other. Dude, I got emotional. I could not help it. What a great moment, man.
Yeah, because it's a very real thing that's happening to a lot of people
Yeah.
uh, at that age now. Because it is no like just rejoining the workforce for a lot of people that age.
No.
People work their entire lives to have their retirement, so they don't have to work, and then something happens and it's gone. It's like, now what? I'm gonna lose everything. I'm gonna lose everything I've worked my entire life for,
Yeah.
and that's a very real fear for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, this stuff happens, like you said, man, all the time. There's actually pensions being stolen as we speak, skimming off the top, and
Yeah,
these corporations who are greedy. It's crazy, man.
yeah, and people defrauding people, or people that are you know getting getting older people to invest in things, and then like and getting them to invest and knowing that this isn't something that's going to help them, and they put their entire life savings in it, and then in a blink of an eye it's gone.
It's true.
Yeah. That's what was so like really insidious about Wolf of Wall Street when you watch it. And this guy is like defrauding people out of their life savings. And
hmm
he's just like, it's nothing. Like, I'm partying, I'm having a good time. Like, meanwhile, you've ruined somebody's life.
Yeah, it's true. And, McCall's there to, save the day, man. I mean, if only real life could be as poetic as movies are sometimes. Like, none of this is real, but man, it's a shame to kind of bring it full circle. This is, and when I tell you this, you'll know it. But like, there's so much violence here. You kind of maybe it doesn't hit you. He's only in 3 sets of fights for this film. It was
Mm.
the fewest of any of the 3 movies. Only 3 different times was he in some sort of a fight. Like, the final set piece, he used stealth tactics. What did you think about the final bit where he takes everybody out and you barely even see him?
I think it worked with what we were just talking about, how it's very practical for Denzel and his the actor now. We don't need to see him doing as much.
Mhm.
But also, like at certain points, like this guy is like a horror movie villain. Like this guy, this guy's like a slasher villain.
He is. You hear him, but you don't see him. And I mean, can I be honest with you? This gang never stood a chance.
No,
Dude, again, I tell you, Phil, they just went to bed. Like,
they weren't worried.
okay. They weren't
This
worried.
old guy, this old American, what's he gonna do?
Yeah. This old Yank, who does he think he is? Yeah.
Just American with his 2 guns. We're gonna show up. That's all he's got, 2 guns, and the rest of these villagers. Like, yeah, we're gonna burn that place down. Which is very funny when you think of Fuqua and Denzel Washington. You think of you think of Training Day. Like, yeah,
Yes.
y'all laugh now. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna burn this place down.
Yeah.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Oh my God, that's great. I wonder how close the dialogue is to that. That kind of makes a lot of sense, though. That's kind of cool. Okay. Okay. I mean, dude, if you're going to do an impression of Denzel, it starts with that line.
Okay, okay.
Okay. You mother. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, again, man, legend. After seeing this, I'm so pumped up. I just want to see a part 4. I don't even care what he does. I don't care if we never see him do a thing. I don't care if the whole movie's like Jason Voorhees, where we just see the bodies. He just kind of walks around and stuff. That'd be fine with me. So get a stunt man to do all the heavy lifting. I'd be okay with that, man. CG the face. It's fine. We'll never know it's not him. So I'd be okay with that. Well, again, man, I'd like to see this franchise continue. I mean, he says part 4 and 5, but I haven't heard anything beyond what he said. Don't know. I'm not going to say I don't know if this is true. It's Denzel. Well, I mean, why would anybody doubt what he says? But maybe things have changed since he said this. I don't have any idea. Part of me says we could just keep this going, and a spinoff would make a lot of sense. But yeah, again, the only thing that's been said was from November of last year.
Yeah,
And by the way, kids, don't fall for those phony AI trailers you're seeing on YouTube. They're not real.
yeah. There's a lot of AI slop on YouTube that
Terrible.
I hate it, man. Uh,
Yeah.
I hope that YouTube eventually puts some regulations in place to stop people from using that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, when you upload when you're checking all your boxes, there's that altered content line. And I'm like, I mean, I never have to worry about that, so I always check no. But like, you're right, man. There should be something in place, some sort of control in place, man. Hopefully, it'll happen at some point because, I'm not going to sit here. I don't say I don't use AI. I use it for voiceovers, and I use it as a search engine. But I always have to triple check my work because you never can tell. Sometimes it'll just flat out lie to you. But I'm not using it for music or art or to write or anything like that. That's that kind of stuff. No, that's not happening. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's the world we live in, man. It's crazy. Well, kids, there you have it. There's Equalizer Part 3, another trilogy covered and reviewed and done, completed here on the 6M. And as we said when we kicked off the show today, folks, lots of chaos happening in the world right now, but we hope that you enjoyed this past hour talking about pretend chaos with a great actor who deserves your time and attention, basically in everything he's ever done. And he's a favorite. Again, he's a legend, and I think he'll go down as one of the greatest actors of his generation, possibly of all time. And yeah, I think I do enjoy this movie quite a bit. Phil, before we call today, let's get your last word on the Equalizer Part 3.
I think it's fitting that I just say whoop, the Equalizer 3. There it is. Whoop.
Boo.
Not a great movie. I think even though it is a very violent movie, it is at points a very good feel-good movie. Like the stuff at the end, where he's sitting in the village and they're doing the celebration for the soccer team. And he's just sitting there like at the end of Touched by an Angel with his big smile on his face, like saved another one. It's so great. It could be seen as corny, but I enjoy it, man. I really enjoyed this movie.
Did you just drop a Touched by an Angel reference on this show? That's a first. Let me guess, that was a you and your mom or you and your grandmother show.
My mom watched it a lot. I never watched it, but she used to watch it a lot.
I watched it with my mom because she watched it and I'm in the room, so I watched it with her.
So you know what I'm talking about. It always felt like at the end, like Della Reese or somebody was at the end watching from a distance, where everybody's like having their happy ending and they're in the background with their smile on, and then it cuts the roll credit.
It's true. Another not villain of the week, but another salvation of the week, I guess.
Yeah, solve this problem of the week.
Yes. Yeah. Well, man, we got Addams Family references and Tag Team and freaking Touched by an Angel, and Highway to Heaven is another one that me and my mom watched together. Did you ever watch that one?
I did not.
Man, yeah, that was Angels on TV, kids. Used to be a real thing. I don't think it is anymore.
Did you watch Cosby Mysteries too?
I did not. No, this is way before we knew Cosby was
Yeah, I don't know why I thought about that the other night, and I Googled it to make sure that this wasn't like a crazy thing that I thought existed. And this was a real show, Cosby Mysteries, and like all the promotional stuff for it is very, very funny. Like Cosby like poking his head around corners, and like there's one picture of him like standing next to this light post, and he's like looking around concerned.
Yes, dude, I remember that. I remember all that. You thought it was a Mandela effect you were happening, didn't you?
It's a real show. I
don't know. Have you gone down the rabbit hole of the Mandela effect on YouTube, by the way?
I haven't.
If you want to lose a weekend, you got nothing to do it. But just be forewarned, you may not come out of it because you'll have your mind completely destroyed. Because there was stuff, I would say 75% of one of these videos I watched, I already knew. 25%, I'm like, come on, that did happen. And they're like, nope, didn't happen. Dude, it's insane. So I thought the Umbrella Academy did a great job of explaining not deja vu, but Mandela effect. But I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't seen it. By the way, I highly recommend Umbrella Academy. Great show. Well, there you have it. Another off-the-wall reference for you. As we wrap up this episode of the 6M. Thanks to everybody for watching or listening. How about that? And watching the other shows. That ended up being a shameless plug, that unintentional shameless plug for Boink Studios. So please go check it out. Be sure to give Phil a follow and myself. And thanks as always, we said, for listening, for checking us out, for subscribing, downloading, all that good stuff. keep your eyes and ears open, kids. We'll be back with another episode, and we'll be going down the rabbit hole of yet another movie, album, streamer, comic, perhaps. You name it, we'll tackle it, as we always do here on the 6M. But for now, that is The Equalizer Part 3. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Check out our social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at 6M Podcasts. We'll see you next time.